I boarded a plane. Often with scheduled flights, they're delayed. And this was the case with this flight. It was delayed. Understandably, there was people upset and complaining, though I was thinking, I don't know, for the most part, they get it right.
They do, yeah. It's rarely that it's delayed.
Yeah. And so I just think how we sometimes become too comfortable or accustomed to something, and then you complain about something when it's not there.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
And so I feel that's the case with many things. And so when this flight was delayed, yeah, I was just thinking, well, if we never had flights, being able to get on a plane and get somewhere and be there in a relatively short time, you'd probably think to yourself, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could do as birds and fly midair and get to pretty much any destination we wanted, which is the case. We're able to do that, but it's when there's a bit of inconvenience where you gripe about it, whether it's...
Yes. Well, I mean, I can say, because I was going to ask you, were you in a rush to be on the plane?
Not necessarily,
because
but
some people are, so maybe it's a little bit, maybe their flight, they were going somewhere extremely important.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to say that should give you a reason. I mean, we're human. Of course, we're going to complain about that. But then again, it's better than, what if something were, like what if it was a mechanical problem or something with the plane? Then you should be, okay, well, at least we're safe here on the ground. But there are people that do it a little bit excessively when they complain. They make it a huge big deal. But
I see it as, if you really need to get somewhere that fast, maybe you should have left earlier. You know, when you ever see people cut you off driving, and you get cut off, or they're in a hurry, and you think to yourself, man, I get you probably needed to get somewhere quick, but instead of
you should have just left
putting
earlier.
Everybody in danger, maybe you should have just left a little bit earlier.
Yeah. I know it's a lot easier, or maybe it's a lot easier said than done, I don't know, but it is extremely easy to take things for granted because we're all guilty of it. You're extremely good at it. I mean, I'm sure you've complained before, but you're good at sitting back and be like, hey, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
If we're stuck in traffic, we're stuck in traffic. It's okay.
Yeah.
The world's not going to end. It really isn't.
But such is the case with many things. For instance, even with Wi-Fi, right?
Oh,
there's occasions when it goes out, and I know it may seem when you need it most is when it goes out.
When it goes out, yep.
But yeah, for the most part, the service provider usually gets it right?
Yeah.
For the most part, it's always running. And so why not see it as that, as, well, for the most part, it's always working fine.
Yes.
So why bitch about it not functioning in that instance?
Yes,
as
I'm sure the provider knows, all right, we need to get on top of this because people are going to start complaining and going crazy all because we don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's actually really sad, kind of.
Yeah. I'm sure they get an influx of calls from everybody. The instance that it's not going, their service is not going as it should, because of course, as we know, it could be weather that may cause it to not function. But yeah, it's just
that's with everything. You can even take people for granted. Obviously, we know that. You just take everything for granted.
Yeah, and you could always see them as them always being there.
Yep.
But it's not till they're not there that you wish they were there. Whether it's a grandparent.
Yeah. Any family, any friend, family, whatever.
Yeah.
Take them for granted.
Hold on. I'm going to walk to this and see that, because it's raining. All right, we're good. Are we good?
Make sure the camera's not wet.
We're good. Making sure that, I think I just stepped in mud.
You need some new shoes.
I was just wanting to make sure that
the camera wasn't getting wet.
The camera wasn't getting wet because it's
raining
at the edge of this. And so it's good.
It looks beautiful out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I appreciate this weather.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can appreciate this weather. I mean, you don't want to take it for granted. We need the rain. Some people might look at it and think, oh man, it's raining.
Yeah,
what are we
that's
supposed
exactly
to do?
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I wish it was nice and sunny, but this is nice also if you think about having maybe some soup.
Yeah.
With
some chili. With some oyster crackers.
Yeah.
That sounds
And so
good.
you make the best of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cozy.
It is cozy.
Yeah.
And it's not too cold right now.
Yeah.
Feels good. You can appreciate it. And it gives all the trees water that they need to grow.
Yeah.
Obviously. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you are right. Someone would probably complain about this. There are people, though. Don't you think there are people that do it a bit much? Where they complain a little too much, where you think, is that really necessary? Probably not.
I've had the person that seems to complain a lot, and you have to just distance yourself, because even if you try to give them advice, it seems for the most part the people that complain are the people that don't take advice either.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's as though
right.
you try to tell them, hey, maybe you should see it this way, and it's not going to happen. So it's best to not even.
It's a losing battle.
Yeah.
I think. But.
So you've taken things for granted.
Oh, for sure. I'm one. Of course, I have.
What would you say would be one?
Probably Wi-Fi.
Really?
I would get upset, like, oh shoot. But then I would quickly get over it.
Yeah.
That's I think that's the thing with me, is that I'll briefly get upset, and then I'm like, oh, whatever. What am I getting upset for?
Yeah.
So if I were to go on a flight, right? Go to the airport, get on a flight, and I find out that it was delayed. What is it going to do for me to go up to the flight, whoever the person is, and be like, oh, I'm so upset, I'm mad. What are you going to do? Like, there's nothing they can really do.
When are we going to leave?
I'm not that type of person to do that. I just think, whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm sure people will understand, because there's no sense of complaining to someone, because it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't.
Maybe sometimes. Sometimes it will, but
yeah, it's not going to necessarily bring a solution to.
Not really. If anything, it can make things worse.
Yeah.
And you're giving the person a hard time when they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And also, what if it's a mechanical problem? That's actually a good thing that they're not getting you on the plane
it's
and be like, all right,
let's leave anyways, because
yeah,
this person wants to leave now, even though we might want to check everything before we do, but since this person's in a hurry, let's go ahead and just go.
Yeah, no, so that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But usually I'm pretty good with that, with just stepping back and being like, all right, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm not one anyways. I would never go up to someone and be like, I'm mad at you. Why is the plane not working? I could never do something like that. I've seen people do it though. Yeah. And I think, oh
now,
my God.
Okay. Let's see it as, what if they had to get to a wedding or a funeral or something really important? Then I can see how one can be under pressure, trying to get to somewhere. And so maybe this person doesn't even get as that normally, but because the circumstance, maybe that brings them over the edge, or they
but it still won't do anything.
Yeah, it still won't do anything.
But I get it. You'd get upset, but things happen.
Yeah. Because for the most part, I try to see it in another's favor, and try to say, okay, maybe they're in a hurry because they're trying to get to the hospital because someone's having a baby and they want to be there for that moment. But maybe it's fair to say that that's usually not always the case.
No, yeah,
and for the most part, people are just in a hurry.
For the most part, sometimes people just want to take things for granted just to take things for granted. They want to be upset and or angry at other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you can try not to take it for granted, just try not to. But I know it's a lot easier said than done sometimes. But you are right that it is amazing that we can go flying somewhere or driving somewhere that would have taken probably
we have all these things now that we didn't then.
Yes.
It's not till you have it to where you become too accustomed and then start to gripe at certain things when they didn't work. For instance, in the future, we will have something available to us that we didn't now, and now we don't know what it is,
You're
and
right.
so we can't complain about it. But once we get too comfortable with whatever that thing is, then we'll find something else to complain about.
Yeah, there's always going to be something to complain about and take for granted and everything. So whatever.
I wish this wasn't the case.
Yeah. I wish a lot of things weren't the case, but it is.
Yeah.
I guess it's just how you react to it. Like I said, I've taken things for granted, but I've also am quick to remember, hey, all right, it's not that big of a deal. So.
Yeah.
But some people do not let that go. No, I need to be here now. I don't care if the plane has a mechanical issue. Get me there now, which would make no sense.
Never mind everybody else.
Yes.
It's about me.
Yes, I don't care if there's a car accident down the street and someone needs to be rushed to the hospital. Nope, I need to get to my destination right now.